All right, boys and girls, this is Geometry Lesson 6, and we're going to be talking about three-dimensional figures again and how another attribute of them, which would be, can they stack, can they roll, or do they slide? All right, so some of the things I'm just going to hold here, and some of them I'm going to have to show you on Elmo. All right, well, let's start with roll, things that roll. All right, so I have a sphere, okay, and we're all smart enough to know a sphere is going to roll. You can just give it a little, not even a push, you can just let go of it and it will roll all by itself. Okay, a cone will also roll if you put it on its side. Okay, and it's kind of cool because it will roll around the vertex, around the point. And then a cylinder is another 3D shape that will roll. All right, what makes these 3D shapes able to roll? A cone, a sphere, and a cylinder. Yes, they roll because they have curved surfaces. Now, let's talk about this with a cone. If I put a cone on the flat surface, will it roll? No. How about a cylinder on its flat surface? No. So, the only kind of three-dimensional figure that's going to roll is if it has a curved surface. All right, now, the next thing we're going to look at is slide. Okay, slide means if you give something a little push on a flat surface, it will move. All right, so here I'm going to use this cylinder. Okay, this is a cylinder. So if I give it a little push, yes, it slides. Now this is not a roll, this is a slide. This is a roll. All right, so yes, a cylinder can slide. All right, what about a triangular pyramid? So I put it here on one of the rectangular faces. Yes, it will slide. Okay. Also, even if I put it on a triangular surface, and I'm very careful not to knock it over, but it will also slide. All right, so there are two that can slide. How about a rectangular prism? Yes, on the rectangle face, or if we put it on the square face. All right, so that one. How about a pyramid? Yes. Okay, and then I'm going to also put it on one of its sides. Yes. Okay, and then last, a cube. Yes. Any of its faces. All right, so now let's look at these things that can slide. Why can they slide? What makes them, what attribute do they have that causes them to be able to slide? Okay, yes, they're flat surfaces. If it has a face, because the cylinder and the cone, which can slide, they don't have faces, they have flat surfaces. So as long as they have something that is flat, a face or a surface, they can slide. All right, now the last thing we're going to look at is, can they stack? So that means if we were to choose two shapes, and Mrs. Jones is going to move these over here so I can get to them more easily. I'm going to hold them up in front of you so you can see those a little better. All right, so here we go. Can you stack a cylinder? That means, will it sit on top of another one, sit flat on top of another three-dimensional shape, or maybe another shape can sit on it. So if I put this shape on there, nope, it's not going to stack. Nope, it's not going to stack. So a sphere cannot stack at all. It is a 3D shape that cannot stack at all. All right, so then let's just try the cylinder. Can a cylinder stack? Can I put something on top of it? Yes. Okay, how about, can I put it on top of something else? Yes. So a cylinder can stack. Think about why. Why can it stack top and bottom? Okay, so here's our rectangular prism. So let's try. Let's see, can something stack on top? Yes. Even if I turned it this way? Yes. Okay, can it stack on top of something else? Yes. Yes. All right, so a rectangular prism, yes, you can stack on it. Okay, so then let's try the square prism, the cube. Can something stack on top? Yes. Can it stack on top of something else? Yes. So a square prism can stack. All right, what about a pyramid? Can a pyramid stack? Can it go on top of something? Yes. Even this way? Yes. But can something stack on top of it? Oh, no, because it has a vertex. So this only stacks one way. It only stacks if it is on the top. All right, now let's try a cone. Okay, here's our cone. If we put it on top, yes. How about if we try a side? No, it's going to roll off. And certainly, if we did this, no. How about if we did on that? No. But what if we turn it this way? Yes. All right. So a cone can stack something on top and something underneath it as long as it is the flat surface. Yes, that's the thing about all of these things that we just looked at that can stack. Is just like with slide, they have to have a flat surface. They have to have a flat surface. All right, so let's remember those definitions. Roll, stack, and slide. All right, you need to get your workbook. You're going to open your workbook to page 642. So pause it, get your workbook, 642. All right, this is page 642, and we are looking at number 1 and number 2, where we see some different three-dimensional shapes. And then they ask us some questions. They want us to identify which, which three-dimensional shapes fit the clue or the riddle. It has faces, and it can roll. It cannot roll. All right, well, these do not have faces. These 3 have faces, and if we tried to roll them, they would not be able to roll. Now, I do want to show you something that sometimes second graders say to me. Mrs. Jones, if you had a cube and you do this, you can kind of make it roll a little bit. Okay, no, that's not the same thing. All right, I toss it, but it will stop like this. It's not going to roll on its own. So remember, to roll, it has to have a curved surface. Sometimes some second graders get mixed up with that. All right, let's look at number 2. It says it can roll. All right, so I'm just going to put a dot under the ones that do roll. Can it roll? Yes, yes, no, yes, no. All right, now the next clue, no flat surfaces. Does this have a flat surface? Yes, okay. So no flat surface. No flat surface. So we have a red and a blue sphere. We don't say ball. It's not a ball. It's a sphere. That's the kind of shape it is. A ball is a kind of sphere. All right, look across the page over at page 642. Okay, look at page 642. Let me get this where you can see it. All right, it says read the sorting rule, circle the solid figure or figures. Okay, it has at least one vertex. A vertex is a corner. Okay, does this have a vertex? Yes. How about the cube? Yes. Cylinder? No. Cylinder? No. Triangular prism? Yes. Rectangular prism? Yes. So the ones that fit our clue, cone, cube, triangular prism, rectangular prism. All right, let's look at number 4. It has no vertices, no corners. Okay, this has corners. No corners, no corners, no corners. That has one, no corners. All right, that's the first clue. But the second clue says it also has flat surfaces. So look at the ones we put the dot on that say yes. Choose the ones that fit the second clue. It has flat surfaces, and circle the answers. All right, you should have circled cylinder here and cylinder here. Those both have flat surfaces. A sphere, Does not. Okay, now number 5. Number 5, we can kind of figure this out on our own, or we can use that white page in your take-home folder. So let's see, 10 edges. All right, so that's a lot of edges. So we actually can do process of elimination here. Okay, no edges, and if we go to sphere, no edges, no edges. So we've already gotten rid of 3. So then we have a triangular prism, rectangular prism, and square prism. Okay, it has to have at least 10 edges. That means the straight lines. So you can look on your white paper, but if you don't, let's trace the edges. Those are the straight lines. 1, 2, 3 on top. Now you can't see this one, but there's one here. 4, 5, 6, and then you connect 7, 8, 9. 9. Is that more than 10? No. Now, does anybody remember rectangular prism and square prism? They have the same things. Do they have more than 10 edges? Yes, they do. How many edges do they have? Okay, you are correct. They have 12 edges. All right, now on number 6, which has 8 vertices. All right, well, the first thing I want you to do is go through and put an X on the ones you know for sure do not have 8 vertices. In fact, maybe they don't even have 1. All right, if you went through an X vertices that you know they don't have it, 0 vertices, 1 vertice, 0 vertices. So we have a square prism, triangular prism, and rectangular prism, just like we did before. All right, now remember, vertices are the corners. Well, let's just start with the cube. There are 4 on top, and there are 4, you can't see this one right here, but there's one there. There are 4 on bottom. So how many is that? 8. And what do we know has the same edges, vertices, and faces? Rectangular prism. Yes. Okay, let's answer the bottom. We're just going to talk about it. We're not going to write. Ricardo says if a solid figure has a vertex, a corner, it cannot roll. Is Ricardo correct? In other words, can it have a vertex and roll, which means it's curved? Is there a shape that has a vertex and is curved? I believe there is, and it is a cone. Vertex right here on the end, and it can roll. So was Ricardo correct? No, he was not. Ricardo was wrong. All right, we're going to turn the page again. We're going to look at page 645. All right, we're going to be doing the bottom of 645. Okay, we have some sorting rules here. And I want us to look at these. It says it has flat surfaces and it can roll. Okay, so let's do process of elimination. Let's go through and do the first clue. Which ones have flat surfaces? All right, you go ahead and mark flat surfaces. Yes, 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 no, yes. Okay, now let's do the second part of the clue. It can roll. Yes, no, no, yes. So our answers, cylinder and cone. It cannot be a sphere because a sphere does not have flat surfaces. All right, I want you to do number 2. It has faces, it has edges, it has vertices. Okay, do the first one. Go through and put a dot on the ones that have faces. Then do the ones, put a dot on the ones that have edges. And last, put dots by the ones that have vertices. The ones that have all 3, those are the ones you circle. All right, so faces, yes. No faces, those are called flat surfaces. No, Edges, yes, yes, yes. Vertices, 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 yes. So the three prisms are the correct answer. Rectangular prism, square prism, and triangular prism. Okay, so that's what we're doing today, just for our lesson about roll, stack, and slide. Now, if you can find some three-dimensional objects in your house like we looked for yesterday, you might gather those up, do the roll, stack, and slide. You know, like if you have a tennis ball or a basketball, do the roll. If you can find a can, something shaped like a cylinder, do the roll. If you can find a cone shape, see if it will roll. Then take things in your house, maybe like a cube, a dice, and stack a can on it, or do the can and put the dice on top. Do some stacking, do some sliding, do some rolling with three-dimensional things you can find in your house. Okay, that's just a fun activity. Now, the last thing you're going to do today, we're going to turn a whole bunch of pages, and I want you to turn to page 796. Okay, 796. It's going to look like this. Okay, it says review what you know. 796, 796. Okay, you're going to do this page by yourself. Be sure you read each one carefully. Which one is 10 more? Show where are the tally marks. Circle the tally marks. Circle the difference, all right? You have 22 minus 9 equals 11. Which one of those numbers is the difference? Then at the bottom, you have a greater than, less than. Over here, it asks you a question about this table. And then at the end, it is a word problem. All right, there is a clue word. It says how many more points, and it's in the question sentence. So you need to figure out if you need to add or subtract those two numbers. Write your subtraction or addition sentence right here. I want to see your problem. If you don't write your problem, I will count off points. Okay, now this is a clue word. Okay, in your take-home folder, we have our clue words. Okay, how many more points than Ava did Byron score? More in the question means to subtract. So you're going to write a subtraction sentence, and then you're going to answer it. Okay, this is the page, 796. You're going to ask your parents to take a picture of, and then they're going to email that picture to me. All right, so this is our lesson for today. This was Geometry Lesson 5.